So hey guys, today we're going to be building a deck just based solely on this pun. Like, I don't care how this is definitely going to be not easy to do at all. Because Pendulum and Vendred, honestly, I don't think they mix super well or mesh together super well. But, just for the name of the deck, you know? For the deck list. Pendread. Surely it's worth building. But like, just to start. So, it's still really annoying how like, if I want to find a Pendulum Fusion monster, oh, great, Garura. That's my favorite Pendulum Fusion monster ever. Pendulum Normal Monster. Oh, Dharma Cannon. Interesting. That kind of sucks, but like at least you can go Pendulum Warrior and sort that out like this, I guess, so. That's alright. Honestly, Pendulum shouldn't be like this kind of filter anyways, I don't think, for a card type. I think it would be better off being like an abilities other, just so it's like easier, I guess, to look through stuff. Like, if I want to find Pendulum normal monsters, literally how do I do that? Well, I guess you don't. You just need to know them all by name. Great. That or maybe normal monsters should be a different category, I don't know, it's just obnoxious in general. There, you could change how the filtering works. I don't know. But let's start off simple. We'll start off with the Vendred cards, and then work our way into the Pendulum cards. So, we obviously want to run Scar, copies. If this card is sent to the graveyard at all, you can add a Vendred spell trap from your deck to your hand. I am not sure if I want to play like 2 or 3 copies of this, but I don't think I want to run 1. So 2 or 3 sounds about good to me. And then we want at least 1 Revenants. And then Vendred Hound Horde. 1 of these. Sturges, we do not need Sturges. Core. We don't necessarily need Core either. So, if we have room, I'll consider putting in maybe Core, but Striges, actually? Oh. Striges? Yeah, I don't think we're playing Striges, so whatever. I believe you want to play 1 Scavenger because of pre-prep. And then Revendred Slayer, I believe you want to actually max out at 3. That is just my intuition, but since we're playing Pendulum, I think we could change that, you know. Revendred Origin, I think you want to play either 2 or 3 of this. Vendred Charge. Since I plan on making this a hybrid build, I guess, I'm not sure. This is either 0 or 1. And then for Avendred Savior, let's just go 2, I guess. Battle Lord, we need at least 1 of. Executor, I think we want 1 of them as well. And this pairs with Sprite Elf as well, in order to make your entire board not targetable, I believe, right? Cannot target cards you control. Yeah, this stops MST for some reason, I guess. I think, right? I don't remember how the ruling on this works exactly, but whatever. Ravenous Vendred. I believe we want a copy of Ravenous Vendred. Okay. Let's go with 1 copy of that, and then I think we're still hitting something, right? You must also tribute monsters from your hand or field, and send 1 Vendred monster from your deck to graveyard. I believe we want a copy of Evolution. What does this do? Once per turn, you attribute 1 or more Vendred monsters from your hand. In our field, then target 1 face of monster you control, increase its level by the number of monsters. What? Number of monsters attributed? Until the end of this turn. When you're attacking Vendred virtual monster destroys an opponent's monster by value, you can have your monster gain 1000 attack. Wow, that's insanely bad. Vendred Knights. Yep. Daybreak is funny, though. but I don't think it's worth running. What was this condition? Your opponent controls more cards than you do. I mean, you're asking to get Kaiju'd, but whatever. Let's see, are we missing any important cards? No. Okay, then I guess doing Diviner. We'll put in one copy of Diviner just for now. Then I believe you actually want like copies of Ben 10 to search your copy of Diviner. I'm not sure if we'll still keep this in, but Diviner is going to set itself to a good level for Baron anyways. And I believe we can search Ben 10 off of like Battle Lord, and that is like the target we usually want to be adding with Battle Lord anyways. So I think we might only need one Ben 10 because I think multiple might be just like a brick. And we just want to tribute Ben 10 for like Revendred Origin, I believe. Yeah, okay. And then I think since we mentioned it, might as well go over Upsprite Elf. And then I don't think we need to run Sprint actually, right? Unless we want to like dump Shinobi Necro, which I don't super care about right now, honestly. But like, there's some synergy because we can definitely make like a Beatrice and stuff. Ben 10 is also a 6 if we want to use. I guess you don't really ever want to ritual summon Ben 10, you'd just be using Ben 10 as like kind of cost, so you tribute Ben 10 so you can add Diviner, I guess. So let's at least bump that up to 2 real quick. And Ben 10 can add itself as well, which is kind of nasty in its own way. So since we're going to make this a pen deck anyways, we're going to just grab some of the best pendulum cards, I suppose. So we have Electromite, we have Beyond the Pendulum, okay. And then we could go Crystal Wing as well, and Ultimaya Tzolk'in. Just potentially. I'm not sure if I want to or not. For now, I want to avoid it. Like, not because it's bad, but like, so we don't utilize too much, well, we don't have to use too much deck space for it. So let's see, Starving Venom as well, I guess would be good. Supreme Starving Venom. Okay. And then let's see. I guess we should get started on the Pendulum half of the deck, and then we'll figure out like staples and stuff after. If we bother to go that far, I guess. So to start, a lot of these monsters are ritual monsters, so when it comes to Pendulum ritual monsters, there's only this one. Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph. Let's see what this does. You can ritual summon this card with Odd Eyes Advent, so it doesn't need to be, but you can. Must be either ritual summoned or pendulum summoned from your hand. Each time your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, inflict 300 damage to them. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell card or effect, quick effect, you can place this card in your pendulum zone, and if you do negate that effect, then if you place this ritual summon card in the pendulum zone, you can special summon one Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck. Okay, so when does that happen? Oh, that can just cheat out an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck. So I guess like maybe you would cheat out Vortex with this if you ritual summon this. Like, ritual summoning this is weird, honestly. During the end phase, you can add one ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to the hand. This effect is too slow, so the pendulum effect essentially does nothing, if you ask me. Okay. But let's see. Is there a benefit to running this, actually? Yeah. Alright, let's check. Ritual. Contribute this card from your hand or face up from your side of the field. Tribute monsters from your hand or field. Then ritual summon one Necros ritual monster. No. This one. Ritual Beast Tamer. Oh yeah, pre-prep. Should grab pre-prep. Dragon Horn. What? Okay. Pre-prep. Grab this. Nice. And then from here, what do we want to do? Well, I actually forgot to put in Herald of Arclight. Should at least grab one copy of this. That's why we have Diviner, I guess. And then maybe Entis, and we can summon back like Diviner for Entis. Like, if we make Sprite Elf. Which is fine, and we can technically use like Electromite or Beyond the Pendulum to link off for like Sprite Elf, I guess, if we want to. Then we just have to really decide on the Pendulum engine we're running here. So, let's start with Odd Eyes. Wait, no. Is that what I wanted? Oh yeah. We want Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, and this allows us to add a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from our deck to our hand, which Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon is, I guess. Which is surely not a bad thing. I mean, we probably want some dragons in some way, shape, or form. Uncertain. And then, what are the targets for this, actually? Odd Eyes. We can remove that for a second. Okay. Odd Eyes Vortex. Where are you? Odd Eyes Monster plus 1 Pendulum Monster. Starving Venom Monster plus 1 Odd Eyes Monster. Let's see. Does this do anything interesting? None of this looks that interesting. This has no hard ones per turn, right? Odd Eyes Monster, that is level 7. Let's see. If I recall correctly, the fusion guy, whatever his name was, I don't remember. Odd Eyes Dissolver, yeah, this is level 8. So this doesn't really add anything super useful, does it? I guess it can not hard once per turn add Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph Dragon, but like, So then let's see, Skull Crobat might not be bad. Skull Crobat has a decent scale as well. The scale on, of course, Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph is not that great. Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum also has fairly decent scales. Is there anything we would want to like summon from our deck, maybe? It would have to specifically be Odd Eyes, right? Let's see. Discard this card and 1 performing spell monster, draw 2 cards. This card is in your graveyard and you control an Odd Eyes card or performing spell. Should you place this card in your Pendulum Zone, you can only use 1 performing spell, Lady Edge effect per turn, and only once that turn. No idea how you're supposed to use these. I think Seer might be good though, so let's find Seer. Seer, during your main phase, if you control this Pendulum Summon card, you can activate this effect. So depending on what position this card is in, you can bash this card, then target 1 performing power or Odd Eyes monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. Interesting. If it is in defense position, you can take a performance power or Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from your deck, and you can either add it to your face up extra deck or send it to the graveyard. I'm not really sure what that lets you do, aside from, like, putting it in the extra deck to Pendulum Summon, I guess. But this has to be Pendulum Summon, so it would Pendulum Summon next turn or something? Weird. You can target one Perform Repel or Odd Eyes card in your graveyard, add it to your hand, then destroy this card. So we can use this to at least, like, add back Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, which is probably fine, right? What scale does this have? Scale 1, and this is the Pend effect. Alright, I see, so what we can do with this is kind of jank, but I'm assuming what we want to do is, like, let's say we open Odd Eyes Seer, and we open Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, we Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, add Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, and then we can, like, scale this or whatever, and then we can do our Pendulum Summoning or whatever, I think. And then, like, later we can activate, like, Seer effect to pop itself maybe, or we can just do that off rip actually. I'm not sure which one is better yet. But either way, we can activate, like, Seer effect, and then Seer can pop itself, right? Destroy it, which will trigger Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum's Pendulum effect to special summon a Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. In which case, we'll probably summon, like, Odd Eyes Dissolver. I think that sounds, like, fairly reasonable. Put in one copy of Vortex, at least, and then we'll figure it out from there, I guess. So then we can probably add a different, like, Odd Eyes Dragon, I guess, after we activate this effect of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon, since it's not hard once per turn to do the search. But I don't know, like, what other targets we have for this. It specifically only adds, like, Pendulum Dragons with a certain stat line, right? Or not stat line, certain level. Level 8 or lower. Okay. So if we check Pendulum Dragons, that's probably good enough, honestly. So it can add any of these. All of these are Odd Eyes. Okay. So we have Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. We also have Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon. So one of the things I dislike about these guys is that their level is a bit too low, in my opinion. But let's probably max out on those guys, and then we do Diviner. And then I don't know if we actually want to play like Skullcrobat Joker or not. But it's pretty good in general, so we'll just we'll try. We could try. Certainly can try. And then let's go ahead and search for... Wait, this mentions Odd Eyes Advent, right? Odd Eyes Advent. Add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand, and add one ritual monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand whose name is mentioned on that ritual spell. No. It needs to be mentioned on Advent then. This can be used to ritual summon any dragon ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. That's not quite what I would want to see. Let's see. So Odd Eyes Advent is mentioned on, like, Gravity and Pendulum Graph, but, like, neither of them are strictly mentioned on, like, the card itself. So you can't pre-prep for, like, Pendulum Graph and Advent. How do you even add Advent to your hand? I'm not sure. I guess we'll have to figure that out somehow. But I think there must be a way, because otherwise the deck would be completely unplayable. Right? Actually, if If I search Odd Eyes Advent and nothing pops up, then there's nothing that specifically searches this card, at least. Huh. Awkward. And then let's see. Add one ritual spell from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, if you could Foolish Burial it, like, Preparation of Rites would also technically work. I mean, I'm not feeling that great about how this list is right now. Like, let's see. This is an alright hand. We're mostly going to be doing the Pendread stuff here, I guess. We don't have the scales, do we? Not really. So, we can, like, Skull Crobat effect, Odd Eyes Revolution, Dragon, and then we can grab, like, what? Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum. This is a form of L card, not an Odd Eyes card. Then we can grab, like, Pendulum Graph, and then scale this, and then search, like, ritual spells. I mean, like, that's not nothing, I guess. I think the ratios will have to be adjusted so that we're leaning more towards, like, either Pendulum or Pendread. I mean, I'm still thinking in general about what we can do here. But I don't think it's, like, the worst thing in the world yet, so that's always a plus. This hand is strictly bricking, though. Reprobe does have a hard once per turn, I guess. I'm pretty sure that just Revendred Slayer and Diviner of the Herald is like full combo, but I'm not sure exactly what that combo entails until I finish building this, I guess. But yeah, I actually did forget Beyond the Pendulum existed, which is kinda awkward. So if we have two monsters on the field, but one of them is also a Pendulum monster, we can also Beyond the Pendulum to search whatever scale we want, I guess. And that's actually pretty damn useful, so 1, 8, 8, 12, searches 8. We need a few more lower scales, I guess. And then we'll go from there, I guess, for now. I'm not 100% sure, like, where to go with this next, but just having the option to search low scale, high scale is good enough for me. So I think 2 copies of Persona is probably enough, and we didn't even put in Astrograph or anything. We don't need to Astrograph to loop any of the stuff we have, like any other cards we have here, right? Just checking. Hard once per turn, yep. I think that was the only thing I would super care about. This, soft once per turn. But we don't have, like, infinite targets for this, right? Hard once per turn. Like, I don't really get where the ritual synergy or the ritual stuff for Odd Eyes was at anyways. I guess a quick Google search might help, so real quick, let's do that. Odd Eyes ritual deck, I guess? Odd Eyes ritual pendulum. Let's see if I can find out some tech. Let's see. Right now I'm just giving a quick look through. Not really seeing much of anything. Odd Eyes. Is there a card that says just like Foolish Burial and Odd Eyes card? Because Odd Eyes Advent is technically a Odd Eyes card. Yeah, I don't see anything like that. Not super clear. Incantation? Huh. So, incantations might be nice because they can just search any ritual spell, I guess. And then there's also this one, let's see. So the incantation Candle can search any ritual spell, so that could technically add Advent for you or whatever you need. And then incantation Bookstone can add a ritual spell back to your hand, I guess. Is that all? Hmm. Incantation Chalice Slime allows you to reveal this card in your hand, discard a card, and if you do, you special summon any incantation monster from your deck. So then you can just add any ritual spell, I suppose. I'm not quite sure if that's even helpful enough. Like, honestly. Odd Eye's Gravity Dragon, at least, probably is searchable, right? It's also, like, Odd Eye's Gravity Dragon is like a tax dragon, so... Alright, we're changing gears. I think it would be nice if I could figure out how the deck works enough so that I can actually adjust it to actually work, I guess. To, like, what I want, I guess, or what I need. I don't know. But we're probably going to consider kicking out Vortex, actually, soon. So, Odd Eye's Pendulum Graph. Maybe we can go for this? Or something. But this only adds, like, from where? Add one ritual spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand, then return this card to the hand. So, as a one-of, I guess we can play it. Like, I don't see this going, like, super hard, but I guess we can search that off beyond the pendulum if we want. Or, like, later. Something like that, right? Yeah, I don't see Odd Eye's Pendulum Graph going super hard. I'm just considering cutting it all together. Vortex, maybe we cut Vortex as well. Let's try a different Pendulum, deck. So, I think Pendulum Magician might be the play. So, I believe we should go check Wisdom Eye in a second. But Chronograph and Astrograph are not bad for this, so we'll just go try 3 Wisdom. I guess, since we're running Skullcrabat, should not be an issue. Wasn't it Wisdom I wanted to check? No, it was Harmonizing Magician. Oh. Whoops. So let's go Harmo, and then let's go Double Iris. I think 2 copies should be okay. And then Purple Poison, also 2 copies, I believe. And then, like, maybe 2 of Oath Dragon. Just to keep it simple. And then Enlightenment Paladin, I think, actually might not be bad. Add back a ritual. Time Star, just because, right? And then these, in general, give you, like, a fair amount, you know, like an okay amount of advantage. And then, just as one-ofs, I wanna, I believe, play... Let's see... Time Gazer and Stargazer. And then a single Performapal Celestial Magician is not bad. And I think this is, like, simpler to play a little bit if we just keep it like this for now, right? Oh, I guess we can play Vortex now, then. And I'm not sure how much gas you actually have with this list. So I'm not sure exactly, like, in what direction this will go. But let's see, this is 4, this is 3. This card is in your graveyard and you discard 1 Pendread. And then this one is, like, if this is destroyed by battle, it special summons itself back. Okay, and then we have a lot of copies of Scar, and Scar will allow us to go into Pendread. Oh, here it is. Ravenous Pendread. Okay. So Ravenous Pendread probably allows this to work out, right? Whose total levels equal or exceed. Okay, that works then. So then, I think the last thing we need is Beatrice, and then this probably comes together a bit more after Beatrice. And actually, since I add Beatrice, I also want to put in 1 more copy of Oath Dragon, and I don't think we can fit hand traps or going second cards on this, or it'll, like, just completely brick and become unusable, like, instantly. Like, the hands were pretty bad as is. So, I don't think it'll be going super well. And let's see. I do want to discard a card from my hand if necessary, so just gotta think about a way to do that. I want to probably have something in my extra deck that does that, maybe. Uh-huh. Not exactly sure where to go with this. Paladin. So, we also have Nirvana High Paladin. 1 Pendulum Summoned Monster. 1 Non-Tuner Synchro Monster. What does this even do? If a pendulum monster you control attacks with that battle, it cannot be destroyed by battle. Is that once per turn? Wait, there's no once per turn on this. What? Wait, does this mean this can Abramax maybe? Wow, that's actually wild. So, no clue. I don't think Nirvana High Paladin is worth playing here. Oh hey, Silent Paladin. But anyway. Let's see. We still have 1 more extra deck slot to fill out here. I mean... right now that I'm thinking about it, I can't summon Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon either, because we're playing, like, no Odd Eyes cards, actually, so... Goodbye. So, I think what would make sense to play is Warlord Savage, and then we'll just round it off with Apollosa, maybe? Sounds good to me. And then I actually have some of the cards here, I don't have all of them. I don't feel like drafting them right now. Maybe I'll test this out in a simulator later. But let's just look at the hands right now. So, we have a scale 1 and a scale 1. Scale's pretty dead. But we do have the Pendread stuff. If we have just a copy of Origin and Slayer, I guess this is somehow playable. Huh. Strange. Alright. Go another. Now we don't have any Pendread stuff in our hand. So the synergy is not quite obvious. We have to open, like, both parts of the deck or we can't really play them, I guess. So I guess I'll just consider adjusting the list to involve, like, both Beatrice and Curious to hopefully get our Pendread stuff going, and then we'll change and, like, really try to compact our Pendread package, I guess. And that's probably going to work out better. Like, maybe, like, 2 of Diviner or something. Right now we're really leaning heavily towards the pendulum magician stuff. But just a single copy of pre-prep is enough for like a pretty like substantial amount of Vendred line, I believe. Because you just need to like ritual summon Revendred Slayer, I believe, and then you send it to the graveyard. And then that allows you to do a lot of stuff. I don't remember exactly what it allows you to do, but I think off of just summoning Revendred Slayer and then sending it to the graveyard somehow, I believe what you can do is activate Ravenous Vendred for Scar of the Vendred, and then that'll allow you to add yet another Vendred spell trap. And then I think you just go off from there, and I don't know exactly where this leads though. But I think after we summon this, you can banish one other zombie monster from the graveyard. Do we have another zombie monster to banish for Scar? Maybe. I'm not sure. This is a bit over my head, but this was a bad deck to kind of like start with. Pendread. This deck is a bit too complicated, and I don't think I have the nuance down for like Vendred yet. I only like kind of understand Vendred. I'm not like a super good Vendred player or anything by any means. So maybe it means I should just study up on Vendred. Well, anyways, that's about it. That's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.